Welcome to day 6 of Wolfmas, and we're putting everything on the line today. I'm buying in for a massive $10,000, almost the entire prize pool, and risking it all here at Travis's 5-10-20 private game at Morongo Casino. Our chips collected no dust tonight, especially when I flopped a full house in a massive bomb pot for thousands of dollars. Plus, the 7 deuce game is on for $50 a player, and things definitely get out of hand. Let's get right into the action. We start off the night with a $500 8-way flip, and unfortunately I don't take that pot down, but because the 7 deuce game is on and I pick it up early, I have to go for the bluff, get it through, and get a nice little rebate there of $400 from the table, which brings us into the first hand of the night. I look down at ace queen offsuit here with just around $10,000 in my stack. There's a limp, a raise to 125, and 2 callers over to me. Of course, from the $20 blind, I'm not just going to call 125. I'm going to come in for a 3-bet squeeze to $755, which gets rid of the limper. But the original raiser now 4-bet jams for $2,355, which clears the table back over to me. I snap call him. I'm not going to make it around 700 to go and then fold for an additional 1,400. I know this is a big pot straight out of the gate here, and it represents a large portion of the Wolfmas prize pool, so I definitely need to win this one. Hopefully we're in a flip situation versus 10s, jacks, something like that. Well, the flop isn't great for us, 10-9-3, although I do have the backdoor club draw. The turn brings that into consideration with the 7 of clubs, but the river bricks off the deuce of diamonds. I had a lot of outs, but I needed to hit them. He turns over ace king of hearts, and I'm sad to report to you guys that I'm losing this $5,000 pot. And now my chip stack is decimated down to $7,500. I'm stuck $2,500 early on. All right, in this next hand, I look down at pocket sixes. Got to get to work here. There's a limp for $20 from Travis. Seat 9 makes it 125 to go. I put in the call, and the player on my left now 3 bets to $500. Travis didn't limp to fold for another $480. He puts in the call, and that's giving me great odds to call here and try to bank my 6. You might be thinking $500 is a lot for just pocket sixes, and you're right. I'm probably behind here against another pocket pair, but you got to think about implied odds. We're playing $7,500 deep, and if I drill a 6, well, there's a chance I play a $15,000 pot. So let's take this to the streets. The flop comes 7-4 deuce with 2 spades, and I start with a check. The opponent to my left bets out for $500, and Travis puts in the call. Against just the opponent on my left, I think I would float here with my pocket sixes, but when Travis calls, it's likely he has top pair, a better pocket pair than myself. He could even have a hand like 5-6 for an open-ended straight draw or even a flush draw, and I'm not really trying to play this hand 3 ways, so when I don't drill my set and I don't have an immediate draw like a gut shot on the flop, I'm just going to let this one go. But unfortunately, we're taking some hits here, and now my stack is down to $6,500. But I finally have some good news to report, because I have 4-3 offsuit from the big blind, and there was a bunch of $20 limps, so of course I completed, and we're going multi-way to a flop, which gives me the nuts on an ace-5 deuce board. Bang! Let's win a big pot. $250 in the middle because there's a bet for 75 and a call. Because there's 2 hearts out there, I want to raise the pot now. I don't want to give anyone a cheap price to complete their flush, so I make it $225 to go. The initial raiser calls the 225. We lose the other guys, so no 3-way to the turn, and of course the heart peels off right away. I look over at his stack though, and he only has red chips in front of him, around $400 to be exact. So I mean, I gotta put it in here. I have the straight. He only has $400, and there's $625 in the middle, so the money's getting in, and he doesn't snap call me, but he takes a while to push all of his chips in the middle. I turn over my cards, and when the 9 of spades peels off on the river, we see that we are cooked. Queen 4 of hearts is what he had. He just drills it right on the turn. $1,400 going his way. This is not the way we wanted this 5-10-20 game to go. I thought I was brave for taking a shot for Wolfmas, but now it seems that I might be letting you guys down. Okay, 9-6 of hearts here. We saw the 2 hearts worked out for my opponent. Let's see if it can go in my direction this time. I'm on the button. I have $5,500 in my stack, and there's a limp for $20. What would you guys do? Well, I raise it up to 120 bucks and my opponent calls. We see an interesting flop which comes Queen Jack 10 Rainbow. I think I'm gonna have the range advantage here with the Ace King being the nuts. I'm also gonna have pocket queens and pocket jacks. I don't really think he should have too many of those when he just limp calls my raised pre-flop. So I'm gonna go for a c-bet here of 125 bucks and he puts in the call. The turn doesn't help me. It's not an 8, a king, or an heart. Instead, it's the 4 of diamonds. But when he checks it to me, I'm gonna try to take this pot down here with a bluff with my 9 high. I fire out for 375 bucks, hoping to get a fold. But he doesn't even fold his laundry. Why would he fold his cards? He puts in the call, and we hate this situation. Now the heart comes on the river. It's a 7 of hearts. I really needed a 4 hearts on the turn in order to feel comfortable about this hand, but with $1,300 in the middle, and I'm already stuck $4,500 on the session, how could it get any worse? He checks it over to me. I do my best Rampage impersonation and punt my $1,500 into the middle. This is an overbet bluff here, trying to get him to fold a hand like King Queen maybe, or maybe a hand like Ace Jack, Ace 10, 10 9, King 10, King Jack. I think King Queen is a little bit ambitious, but all those other hands that I mentioned could definitely find a fold here. And I'm obviously not good with my 9 high, so when I put in the money, my heart rate skyrockets. He doesn't snap fold, which we don't like to see, but eventually he does get rid of his cards. Let's go. Of course, we're going to table the 9-6 of hearts, hoping to establish a little bit of table image, and maybe people will pay me off in the second half of this session in order to get unstuck. Before we continue with the hands, we need to remind you what Wolfmas is and how you can enter. We're flying 7 lucky winners to Houston, Texas to battle me and my content producer Lucas on the prestigious Champions Club Livestream. We cover your round-trip flights, 2-night hotel stay, and your full buy-in on stream. Best yet, you keep 100% of the profit. It's a true once-in-a-lifetime free roll. There are 3 ways to enter. 1, make a comment, drop a like, and subscribe on all 12 videos. That's it. 2nd, sign up for Club WPT Gold using code Wolfgang. We will be including anyone who has ever used the code and giving you a 10-chip bonus for making an online poker account. 3, you can grab merch from my newest drop at shopwolfgang.com and save your order number. But here's the critical part. We currently have over 3,000 comments, but only 700 form submissions. If you do not fill out the intake form down below, you are drawing dead. Even if you comment or buy merch, you cannot win without that form. Go fill it out right now, and let's get back into the action. All right, we're slowly crawling our way back, not because we're getting good cards, but because we are outplaying our opponents. So let's keep doing that. I raise it up to $120 over a $40 straddle. Yes, we're playing 20-40 in this hand, and Travis puts in the call. The straddler does as well. 3 ways to a flop in position on the button, and it comes about as good as it can get. Jack 10-9, bang, we have the king high straight. Both my opponents check it over to me. I bet out for 100 and Cinco de Mayo. Travis puts in the call. The turn is not great though. It comes a club. We didn't want to see that. It's pretty much the only card in the deck we didn't want to see, and so of course the action goes check check. The river pairs the board now, so not only is there a potential flush out there, the board has now paired, but with $700 in the middle, he checks it over to me, and I gotta go for value. I can still target a 10, being 3 of a kind. I can target a jack, or maybe he has a worse hand that just might pay me off thinking I'm bluffing. So I bet $555. He doesn't think about it for too long and then turns over his cards while folding. He had 7-6 of diamonds. So pretty ambitious play there from him. He wanted to hit the 8 on the turn or the river to make the straight, or try to bluff me, but neither came to fruition. Instead, I'm taking down $1,240, and it's gonna help when I pick up the best hand in the game, pocket aces, and we still have the $40 straddle out there. I make it $155 to go, and Travis and the straddler both put in the call. So a similar situation to last time, and this time the board comes 10-3-3 with 2 diamonds, and I decide to start with a check and get a little bit tricky here, and now the straddler fires out for $200. I think this is where I make a mistake. I should be check raising somewhere around 600 to 700. Yes, I know I just made a 6-7 joke, but instead I just call here. I mean, calling isn't the worst situation in the world, but it is when we lose our other opponent, Travis, and just drill a boat on the turn. The ace of clubs peels off, bang! We are gonna win this pot. But I say it's bad by just calling the flop because now the action goes check, check on the turn. If I check raise the flop and he calls, well, now I have the initiative and we can put more chips in the middle. But by just calling, now I have to check on the turn. He checks behind, and the pot has not bloated up more than 900 bucks. In the river comes the 8 of clubs. Of course, I'm gonna have to go for value here. I don't want to go large because when I have 2 of the aces, it's unlikely he has an ace himself. So at best here, he has a hand like 10 jack, queen 10, and maybe he has a hand like pocket jacks that didn't 3-bet pre-flop. So I bet small for 250, and he snap calls, which is good news for us. We're gonna win this $1,400 pot. I turn over 1 ace and then flip over the other, letting him know that I had an absolute monster in the closet. Even though we've been getting around 2,500 comments per video, I'm still taking some time to read them, and I noticed that a person by the name of Elijah keeps asking me to play the 7 deuce game in the series, so shout out to you. We're gonna go after it here. Luckily, there's a $50 bounty, and there's a $40 straddle on. I make it $120 to go with just under $8,000 in my stack, and Travis puts in the call. We're gonna pick up another caller, so our work is cut out for us here. 3 ways to a flop, which comes queen 6-4 with 2 diamonds. I decided to start with a check, and the action checks through, bringing in the 4 of clubs on the turn. I think I want to play this hand like I would with my entire range here. So if I had pocket 9s, pocket 8s, of course I'm going to check the flop, and then I'm going to probably go for value on the turn. That's what I do. I bet out for 180 bucks. Unfortunately, Travis calls, but we're not 3 ways to the river, which is the 10 of spades. I'm not going to win this with 7 high. I got to make Elijah and you guys proud and make back some money in this challenge. There's $800 in the middle, and I bet out for $555. I think this is an effective bet. It's going to get a lot of 6s to fold. It's going to get a lot of pairs like 7s and 8s to fold. And of course, all the ace and king highs will fold as well. All those diamond draws that bricked off have to go into the muck. He's tanking, which we don't love to see, and then eventually cuts out the chips and puts them in the middle. What do you have, Travis? I turn over my 7 deuce sheepishly, and this $2,000 pot is getting awarded to just ace high. Maybe I screwed myself with the flop check, but I would do that with all my pocket pairs and my better ace highs like ace king, ace jack, ace 10 would now go for value on the river. So just crazy that he put in the call there. He just absolutely owned us. And yeah, this is not the way I wanted the 7 deuce game to go.
We're here with Isaiah on an 8-hour road trip, rocking the Tilted merch. What do you gotta say, Isaiah?
Shout out to my family. I'm about to make 2 bands on 2.5 right now. I took a 9-hour road trip, and I have 1 bullet.
And if you don't make 2 bands, you have to say you can't drive back. He has no gas money.
Nope, I got nothing.
Shout out to his family. They won't see him for Christmas.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the videos, brother. Yeah.
But don't worry, there are 2 massive pots to end this session, and we start off this one with a $50 bomb pot, and I have 10-7 of clubs. What does the flop come? No less than 10-7-7. Bang! We flop a boat in a bomb pot. Oh my gosh, and Travis spits out for 150. Maybe he's giving me some rake back here from that last hand. We get a call. I put in the call as well. When you just have so much of the board, it's best just to let your opponents do the betting. And even though I'm out of position on both opponents, when the turn comes the king of clubs and I check, Travis goes for a bet for 250 and the button folds. So the action's on me now, and I have to go for a check raise and get more money in the middle. I don't want to just call this. I'm out of position to the river and it goes check, check. I want to bloat the pot right here, right now. So I'm going to set the price that I want to play for, and it's $700. And Travis calls, you guys, $2,100 in the middle. How can I be losing here? In the river comes the jack of clubs. Okay, let's think about it. I'm losing to hands like pocket 10s, although there's 1 combo of that. I'm losing to a hand like king 7 and now jack 7, both of which could be in his range because we're playing a $50 bomb pot. But I can't be scared of monsters in the closet. I have a full house, and the only way I'm gonna get unstuck is if I pile black chips in the middle, $1,250 to be exact. Travis doesn't look stoked about it, cuts out some chips, thinks about it, and ultimately calls with 6-7. Yes, we cracked 6-7. Yes, we cracked a 6-7 joke earlier, and now we are cracking 6-7 in my opponent's hand.
Not the 6-7, brother. Not the 6-7. Not the 6-7.
$4,600 finally coming my way, and all it took was a $50 bomb pot cooler. 10-7 over 7-6. Bang! And now the last hand of the night. I have just under $9,000 in my stack. At my worst, I was at 5.5K, so I've almost crawled all the way back. And the poker gods are on my side. I'm in the small blind with pocket aces, and the $40 straddles on. I make it 100 and Cinco de Mayo to go, and Travis calls. So we have a $340 pot developing, and the flop comes Jack-9 deuce with 2 clubs. I decide to start with a check here. This is a very dynamic board. He could have some club draws. He could have a Queen 10, 10-8 type of hand. So I start with a check, and he bets out for $160. I put in the call, and the turn comes the Queen of Diamonds. A little bit more of the same here. I start with a check, and he bets out for $400. At this point, I debate going for a check raise, although I think I would just be owning myself against hands like Queen 9, Queen Jack, and of course Jack 9. The front door club draw hasn't completed yet, so there is some merit to going for a check raise, but I'm not trying to bloat this pot unless I know I have the best hand, and so for that reason, I just put in the call. The river gets a little scarier now. It comes the Queen of Spades. Interesting spot here. Do I check it over to my opponent, who might have just been counterfeit with a hand like Jack 9? Well, I also could go for a blocker bet, and if he raises me, I could just easily fold. I think my blocker bet will also allow me to get called by a lot of worse hands in a situation that they might just check behind on the river, and so I like a $555 bet. Cinco de Mayo has never let me down, and it better not let me down here. So when I bet out, he thinks about it for a very long time, cuts out the chips, and no, he raises to $1,500. This is exactly what I didn't want, but I told myself if I bet here and get raised, well, I'm just gonna have to let my cards go. It's just a weird spot here. He probably has a queen or a straight, or maybe even a full house like 9s or jacks. There's just a lot of hands I lose to. So even though I have pocket aces and I thought I was gonna get fully unstuck, the cards are gonna hit the muck, and we do not know what he has. Psych, Morongo Trav also has some social media presence, and I saw on his Instagram that he had Ace of Hearts and the Queen of Clubs, so he went runner, making a pair on the turn, and then drilling the river for 3 of a kind. Thankfully, I folded, but unfortunately, this is the last hand of the night. We got in for $10,000, and when it's all said and done, we cashed out for $7,432, so a loss of $2,568 on the session. But no worries, you guys, because of the generous donation from Randy 3Coin, the legend. He put in $5,000 of his very own money. We are still at $9,729 to give away to you guys on Christmas Day through the first 6 episodes. Be sure to do all the steps to enter if you want to win this massive prize pool. You have to like, comment, and subscribe. Good luck on the felt, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, as always, in Wolfmas number 7. Ho, 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 bang!